Okay, I think we're live here. Let me get a sip of my water, my red water. For those curious, that is Sonic Cherry Limeade. Bought a bunch of those packs at the store. I like it. It's pretty good. Pretty good. I like it. Add some extra flavor to my water to make it more delicious. That is a tasty beverage. Get my dose of aspartame. Freak out all the people who worry about it for some reason. I don't understand. All right. Hopefully we get some people in here. I've been doing these less frequent so they fill up slower because people aren't expecting them. They don't know. It's just like pow, comes out of nowhere. And try to be lively. I'm also, you guys have kind of figured out, we're not going to put up with nonsense in these at all. I'm going to put up with nonsense. I hope I got the privacy settings right. There we go. There's a few people coming in now. I was a little worried, guys. I thought I had the privacy settings wrong. I'm not going to put up with nonsense. We're going to have a rule, and I'm going to keep it consistent. If you expect me to remember anything going back more than 20 years and you want to annoy me with that, I'm just going to block you. Asking me specific details about anything more than 20 years ago. Unless it's something like specific specs on an engine that maybe will be ingrained in my memory forever. About a guitar, I'm probably not going to remember it. Right? So, let's get some comments going. I'm going to keep this lively. I'm in a good mood today. But we may not get anybody watching. Hey, coach, my strength and press has gotten stronger. When cutting, does this mean muscle growth? Does the leverage have gotten better? Deadlift? It could mean a lot of things. Okay, it can mean a lot of things. Okay. Now, have you probably kept all your muscle? Probably. That's fair to say. But, without having a lot of time frames, I can't really give you an answer other than to say it's a good thing. Don't knock it, right? It's a good thing. Be happy with it. Jason, what do you think about doing feeder sets on rest days for lagging body parts? I'm going to read this back the way that I am perceiving it. Jason, what do you think about doing blah, 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 a term I am not familiar with, insert term, on rest days for lagging body parts? Like a bird feeder? Like, are you hooking a bird feeder up to your muscles? What are you doing? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Now, here's going to be the obvious answer, though. Rest days. You're doing something for your lagging body parts on rest days. You don't see a problem with this. I mean, unless you're going to up the dose, bro. Did you add more steroids to your stack? Are you putting them directly into those lagging body parts on your rest days? Like you use sight shooting tests or something? Because the last fucking thing you want to do is be training your lagging body parts on your rest days. I hope you're not doing any sort of lifting for them. You don't see a problem there? I don't think that's going to interfere with muscle growth. Come on, guys. You guys got me lively today. All right. Nobody else wants to ask any questions now. Everybody got shy. What are you drinking today, Coach? As I covered in the intro, this is water with Sonic Cherry Limeade mixed in. Getting my daily dose of aspartame and red dye. Tastes delicious though. We'll get more people in as this goes. Sounds damn tasty. I missed the intro, but glad I landed in this live. I'm glad you came along too, Radco. Wild Time says, how do you stay disciplined in diet, life, and working out? You don't have to. That's the beauty of it. Discipline is not something that you're born with. Do you know how you develop discipline? By creating habits. Okay. For example, if you practice doing something when you wake up every morning, it will become your normal and you don't have to think about it anymore. In other words, do you know why I bench heavy on Monday? Do you know why? Because I do it every Monday. I don't need motivation. You bench heavy every Monday for 6 years straight. You don't need motivation. You don't need anything else. It just happens by default. It just becomes your lifestyle. Does that make sense? The longer you sustain a habit, the easier it is to maintain it. It's actually hard to break the habit. It actually really messes with you. This is why we have addiction problems. Once someone has a habit of being addicted to a substance, it's very hard to get to quit. It would actually be harder for me to not work out than it would be to train. Hey, Jason, is quad work needed for a BJJ athlete doing high volumes of rolling? I feel my legs are fucked up after leg presses, single leg work effects. Dan, you're going to have to balance that. There's a fine line to be found there for contact sport and fighting athletes, right? There's a fine line there. And it sounds like if they're really messed up, you're going to have to just reduce the volume. But here's the thing. You can still do quad work. Quad work's still good for you to do. You're going to have to step back and say, how much workload can I handle and recover from while rolling from this? You're going to have to trim it down. Even if you end up only doing a couple total sets a week, there's still going to be an adaptive response. Okay. Can you still gain muscle when eating at maintenance, or is it just better to slow bulk? I've kind of given you guys a whole spectrum of multiple factors that determine how possible recomposition is. And so you just asked me to build you a watch. Go watch any of my videos on the 3 variables. There's 3 different variables on a sliding scale that determine how possible recomposition is at any given point. One of them is how lean are you? How lean versus how fat are you? How long have you been training? And how drug-free are you? Or how chemically enhanced are you with drug-free being at the 0 end of the scale? Those are your 3 variables that determine the rate at which recomposition is possible in a perfect environment. If I go from bulk straight to cut, I reduce my calories from 3,300, 2,500 to start. How much should I reduce volume? If I had 10 sets of bench, no. I mean, if you're doing 10 sets, you may want to keep it there total. You adjust volume if you are not recovering. That's the whole point with cutting, is that sometimes we have to reduce volume to recover in a deficit, right? Ever lose interest in powerlifting period? Find myself caring less and less about it recently, still training in the same, of course. Yeah, I mean, it happens, right? It happens. Just adjust your goals as you go. Obviously, though, you're still going to want to focus on strength. If you've been a powerlifter, it'd be a good idea. You can pick it back up anytime you want. Jason, a famous stream called Tyler one benched 425 touch and go. He's fairly lean and somewhat short. What are the chances he did this drug-free? Let's use the correct terminology. Pretty low chance. Am I saying impossible? No. Probability, very, 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 very low that he did it drug-free. Not impossible, but highly unlikely. And I don't know who he is. I'm just saying based upon what you told me. You were to ask me to give you what are the probabilities? You know, like if I had to bet my own money on it, or let's say you had to put a finger or a testicle on the line. That's the thing I always love when someone says, I'm sure this person is drug free. I'm sure this person I adore and follow is drug free. I'm like, you willing to bet a testicle on it with no anesthesia? Then all of a sudden their tune changes. Like I said, we go hook this guy up and we find out for sure. Like if we had a way to know for sure, would you be willing to bet your left testicle on it? Then all of a sudden they're not willing to. Like, no, that motherfucker's on drugs, right? Oh, okay. Do I think that KDEX, are you asking me if would I bet one of my testicles on that? Like if I had to put something serious like that on the line, I'm gonna say that motherfucker's on 6 steroids. See how easy that is? Like which one is less likely to cost me something serious in that bet? I'm very likely going to win that. You know why? Because he's an influencer. That's it. He makes his money in fitness on the internet. That's already a safe gamble. Like if you got to bet something serious, like really serious, it's going to cost you something beyond just words. That's always the safe bet. See how easy that is? How long is your daily nap? There's no set number. Coach, I just started conjugate 5v1. I don't feel beat up. Is this normal? Did percentages correctly and leaving 1 to 2 reps in reserve on accessories? Yeah, that's pretty normal. You're going to feel less beat up. Just finished strength training. No, Unco. Why would anybody come off of gear? Give me one good reason why any human being would choose to do that other than immediate health scares. I think testosterone is a lifetime commitment. That's my opinion. Take it or leave it. Jason, will you upload more guitar clips? I just picked up a new acoustic electric Epiphone. Cool. Eventually I will. I've been jamming with one of my bros lately. How many accessories would you usually program for your combat athletes? It's not a set number. I keep their accessories relatively low. I don't have an exact number handy, Dan. I would have to actually check notes. But it tends to be relatively low, 2 to 3 accessories. You know, lower days you can do 3 on a max effort day might be okay, but definitely no more than really 2 on dynamic lower days. Do you think there's some people that can't bench 225 effort? No. Blaha's razor. If you aren't willing to bet one of your testicles on bro being natty, he's probably not. Exactly, man. I mean, everyone loves to say, I think this guy's natural. It's like, so you're telling me if we had a way to know for sure, you know, like we could get in and read his mind with technology and find out for sure, would you be willing to bet one of your testicles on it? Right? Because what they really mean is, I would love to believe that he might be. But on the internet, that comes out as, I'm positive. Oh, yeah, that guy's totally drug free. Right? But what that really translates to is, I really hope and want to believe desperately that he is. Apart from a good mobility tool or pullovers, decent growth anywhere, yeah. Pecs, lats, potentially long head of the tricep. He streams video games. I don't know who we're talking about. How long before bedtime do you take melatonin? 30 minutes to an hour, maybe. Have you played Baldur's Gate 3? No, I haven't. I don't even have time to run a D&D game anymore. So I'm way out of the loop there. It's been quite a few years. No, I've never liked D&D based video games, to be honest. They've always kind of, yeah. What size t-shirt do you wear? A large, but they're pretty tight at this point. So sometimes extra large. Thoughts on adding olive oil to meals? They do this in several Euro countries and are healthy population after all. Yeah, I think that's a reasonable, healthy fat to add. Um, haven't had a chance to listen. Oh, the healthy masculinity I did today. I did it this morning based upon current event stuff that people have sent me. All right. Hey, coach, what are your thoughts on zone 2 cardio for heart health in general? I don't actually care about zones of cardio. Jason, I was 9 sets of 5 bench and 9 sets over press week. Is this too much volume for chest volume? I don't have enough info to really say. Oh, you said he was a fitness influencer. Oh, but the fact exquisite, you come back over to the other stuff. 425 bench, fairly lean. Okay. That's absurdly suspect. Just by itself, like though that alone is like, the odds are very, very slim. Again, not saying impossible. Yeah, but just because they're not an influencer doesn't mean they don't use gear. Are you guys not aware how many millions of people use steroids? Are you guys that clueless? You do realize when you guys go to the gym and you walk in the weight room in the evenings, there's 12 guys in there who are on gear. Some of them aren't that big. Okay. It's not exactly a rare phenomenon. Maybe a wake up call for a lot of people. Okay. And we'll go on a limb and say, you people are aware steroid use is fairly prevalent in the fitness and lifting scene. Okay. I know it may come as a big shock to a lot of people, but it's relatively common. There's a lot of people who use steroids. Oh my God, it's a shock. I know. You guys have probably never heard this before from somebody. You may not know that people actually use them other than top levels of powerlifting and bodybuilding. Yeah, there's plenty of guys at your gym. You're wrong. There were guys on your high school football team when you were in high school. If you live in the UK, your rugby team, you're on gear. Half the team. All right. All right. What are your thoughts on Mad Cow? I don't think about Mad Cow that much anymore. Thoughts on snacking during a long workout? Sometimes I get hungry and need my protein cookies. Hey, man, if it helps you get through the workout, then do it. How do you deal with the stares of people looking at you in public? I don't really notice. I get stopped a lot, Hanger. People actually literally stop me to ask me questions or to make comments. It's normal at this point. It is not something that only happens once a week. Let me put it that way. Are you still friends? I haven't talked to Ogus in many, many years, actually. When will you stop your bulk? You're getting thicker. I'm not even bulking. I'm not bulking right now. When I was in high school, there were people using steroids in the weight room team, like 7 people, no joke. Yeah, exactly, Nick. I mean, again, your high school football team, half of them use gear, just the way it is. You say even more people in the UK. Yeah, Ratco, did you not see the surveys done in the UK? It's even more prevalent because they're legal to possess, right? They're legal to possess without a prescription there. When I was in the UK, I met guys who were on gear who worked out twice a week and only did chest and arms. That's it. They did curls and benching and flies, and that's like all they did. Came to the gym twice a week and did their just some chest and arms and went home and they were on steroids. That was the UK, dude. That's how it was. When you started chatting with the guys. Okay. A guy at my BJJ thinks CrossFit is a better idea than conjugate. How do you convince some? You can't convince him. CrossFit's not that bad though. How come you don't like Joe Rogan? I'm just not a big fan. He doesn't appeal to me. I mean, I don't dislike Rogan, by the way. Jason, what adjustable dumbbells do you use? I'm drawing a blank. I have the Titan Fitness handles, all 3 sizes, a pair of each. Everybody's trying to use it on roids, Jason. That's Charles. That's not what I said at all. I know that there are people who are stronger than me who aren't on gear. Okay, I've never implied otherwise. That's a really bizarre statement. You clearly are very new to what I'm saying. What I'm saying is they're extremely common, and in the industry, anybody making money is on gear. That's just how it is. This is a competitive industry in a competitive environment, and they give you an edge. And it's that simple. And I'm not stating that as a moral judgment. I'm just stating reality. Okay? It's not a moral judgment on those people. And it sounds like maybe you're the one with a cringeworthy view of something that's just a standard, regular tool in the toolbox in our world. Get over it. Grow up. Get in touch with reality. I saw the famous 2005 one in which 1/3 of gym goers admitted it. Well, yeah. Yep. 1/3 in that survey. 1 out of 3 guys with a gym membership in the UK in an anonymous survey admitted to gear use. Chris had a friend. How would you say? Yeah, Matt's obviously Jack. Go guess it's Jack. Yeah, I spent 3 years in the UK. I started my original channel when I was in the UK. Yes, I am very aware of the thing on my back there. Really, what's your views of CrossFit as a whole benefits? I mean, I've got mixed views on CrossFit, to be honest. I've got mixed views on CrossFit as a business model, but the concept itself, let's take away the high rep Olympic lifting and maybe some of the ring stuff. Take that out. And then you look at the rest of it. If form and stuff is decent on a lot of things, it's a good way to get in shape. It works. All right. CrossFit Games. Look at those people. You're telling me those aren't some of the fittest athletes you've ever seen. So you go over to that, the CrossFit Games, those people in the top tiers of that are short of the NFL, probably some of the best athletes on the planet. Just well-rounded athletes. Let me just be frank. I can't hang with any of those people. They would train my ass into the ground. So, Jeremy Ether isn't even on my radar. He's basically a guy who quotes a few studies and EMG studies, unless he's changed something, barely lifts and just links EMG studies as somehow the pinnacle of knowledge. It's really kind of a weird situation. I don't get it. Would it be a good idea to mix in overhead work to max effort movements like strict press, push press? Yeah, if you have the shoulder mobility for it, absolutely. All right. Complaining about fitness people using gears like complaining about golfers using a driver. The comment before was hella cringe. Yeah. Will you ever bring back the Coach's Corner streams? I'm not necessarily as streams right now. I like doing them the way I'm doing them, recording them and then uploading them. CrossFit chicks are hot. Dude, a lot of the CrossFit chicks are legitimately attractive. Coach, why are the Blaha perspective videos voiceovers? Because they're easy for me to do. Right? They're easy for me to do. I'm not going to discuss my business model and give away what I'm doing ever. Right? You think that's a wise idea given the number of enemies I have? Come on. Come on. I'm just going to do my thing and be quiet about it. Is a 225 strict overhead press for a max pretty impressive? I think that it is. I mean, unless you're at a really high body weight, it's legitimately impressive. You know, just my opinion, a true strict press, not the thing they're doing in the starting strength sport, whatever it is, strength lifting, to where they lay back. But I mean, if you're doing a true strict press with no leg drive, no hip drive off of your chest from a dead stop at 225, that's pretty damn impressive. And I don't think you can knock on that. And it doesn't matter that there are guys out there who've done a lot more. It doesn't matter. It's still impressive. Again, Tiz, I have pretty big lifts and I'm still getting better. What do you mean? I've hit a 600 squat with a camber bar on camera before, and I'm working towards the 700 dead and 400 bench. A lot of it's been my shoulder health has been my biggest issues. What's the Blaha perspective on even tossing the salad? If that's your thing, cleanliness. I'm not going to knock people for their individual kinks. You know, do whatever makes you happy. I'm not judgmental. If you're going to do that, cleanliness is a real good idea. Hygiene, because there's some pretty nasty bacteria and stuff that you can catch that way if you're not careful. But if that's what you enjoy, that's what your partner enjoys, just practice cleanliness. Exquisite. Yeah, don't do it after your girl's been to the gym. Yeah, don't do it after she's been to the gym. Oh no. Yeah, definitely not. And it's not even an issue of gross, it's an issue of your health. But this is not the sort of channel I run. Are redhead chicks cute? They can be. What's your current diet like? Do you eat mostly clean food? Yeah, it's right now at the moment, it's mostly fruit and lean animal proteins, Greek yogurt, chicken, lean cuts of steak, a few vegetables. Occasionally I have a cheat meal. I had pizza last week. You know, but overall, that's what I eat. It's a lot of calories, 4,000 plus a day. If I want to start including pullovers, should I do them before or at the end of a chest workout? You really want to do those before you bench press, Mike? Do you think that's a good idea? Yeah. Derek, I think that you're just a troll. Bam! Kapow! All right. I like hitting that button. It makes me happy. I got all excited. I like just hitting that band button. I love that shit. Is there anyone past you present in the Iron Game who you would have as your coach and take tips from? I'm going to go with Abraham Lincoln. Do you think eating cleaner foods while bulking helps you be less bloated? Yeah, I think it does help with bloat. I mean, your stomach can be more distended at times, but as far as your face and everything else goes, you know. Has a woman ever picked up on you in the gym? Yes. Not in a very, 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 very long time though. Because Vegan Test, because I've been watching his comments for the last couple streams, and he's a troll. How much stretching should I do for my hamstrings if they are tight? The amount that you need to do, right? Abraham Lincoln, that's right. Abraham Lincoln. Imagine Jason had $1 every time I hit that band button. I have more than $1 for every time I've hit the ban button. I bet Abraham Lincoln could have got a hell of a deadlift though with his structure. Like had he been a lifter. Like I think Abraham Lincoln, again, had he become a serious lifter, I'm just gonna put this out there. I think he could have had an elite deadlift. Right? Just looking at his bone structure. He was built to deadlift, dude. Yeah. All right. What, someone's going to clip that? What, my point about Abraham Lincoln? Oh, yeah, yeah. Abraham Lincoln would have had a big deadlift, though. Dude, but seriously, am I wrong? Look at his structure and his levers in those old photos and tell me Abraham Lincoln was not built to deadlift. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think it's a fair analysis. I have a functionally short leg due to muscle imbalance. It's like is that leg like me? I have no idea. Dude, yeah, Abraham Lincoln, dude, I'm telling you. You know, someone asked me for a past figure there. Well, there you go. They just weren't expecting me to go back that far. I think they meant something in the last century. You know, ready for that Abraham Lincoln. Then if he was a lifter, he would have been Abraham Lincoln, though. He's we're gonna get Jack as fucking free some slaves, bro. Do you think Steve Reed was actually drug free? I don't know. Exquisite. That's not actually really the thing that you people think it is. It really it's been overhyped. It's been overhyped, dude. All right. Let's get some other questions going. I'm not going to discuss Putin given the whole political climate these days. I'm not going to get into that. So, Tio, I'm not gonna explain that to you, dude. Sorry. I'm just not. Yeah, that's the last thing I'm gonna discuss in a stream and have clipped into videos. No. Do you do pullovers mostly for mobility and also for hypertrophy? For both. For both. Do you ever personally do hack squats for quad development? No, I have not. But what type of hack squats? Do you mean the hack squat machine? Or are you talking about the OG hack squats, like old school with a barbell? Because I've never messed with the latter. I've done machines in the past for pretty heavy weight, pretty ass to grass for quad work. Well, quad adductor glute, because it's not really quad work. That's like saying, chin ups for biceps. Yeah, the biceps get a lot of development out of it, but there are other muscles. Right? Maybe that's not the best example because quads are really big, which is again an accurate statement. They're technically the largest muscle in the human body. Whereas in biceps, out of the major muscles, are the smallest ones. They're actually smaller than your pecs, your delts, your traps, your triceps, everything. Coach, I've been drinking A2 chocolate milk after training, blah, blah, blah. What do you think? I don't care what you eat after training. Do you enjoy it? And does it give you the nutrition you want? There's nothing magical about post-workout specific recovery unless you train fasted. Jason, if one doesn't have access to Primo, would Decker and Anavar be better on top of that? Depends on what you're trying to do. From a health perspective, those would not be my first choices. Okay. If you want the prettiest blood work possible, those wouldn't be on my top two. If you wanted a second thing that's maybe not as clean as Primo for your bloods, EQ, Masteron would be good choices. All right. Are hack squats good choice for quads if belt squat isn't available? I don't like leg press because of stagnancy. No, I think hack squats are fine. How do you minimize hair loss on gear? I wouldn't know. Is this even a concern? Jamie and I have definitely talked. And keep in mind, guys, I've done some beltless training earlier this year, and I've done whole phases of beltless training in the past. Have I not? Have you guys not seen me go a year at a time without a belt before? Okay. And it wasn't that he makes fun of it. We've had some serious discussions about just raw lifting in general, and I am kind of wanting to ease back in that direction. I kind of wanted to for a little bit, and that kind of gave me some motivation to do so. He thinks I should put on shoes, and I'm not going to, by the way. Jamie thinks I should wear shoes. All right. Darko, no one uses oral Primo. No one that I know of. You still think good mornings are one of the best accessory lifts for squat and deadlift? Yeah, absolutely. I love good mornings. Any plan to get Alex Viata? I've had Alex on my channel many years ago, actually. Maybe. Alex is a crazy busy guy, though. He's crazy busy. We're in touch. I still chat with him a little every now and then. I don't know. Yeah, maybe you're just being a troll. Kapow! Beautiful. Another one gone. I like that. I'm trigger happy today. Somebody else argue with me. All right. Doesn't really matter. All that matters is what someone can lift and call. Yeah, maybe. Begin that's cool, man. It's like I've told before. I don't view other coaches I'm friends with as competition. I really don't. I think everyone out there needs to find the right coach for them. Okay. And so I think people try to do that every now and then. They think they're going to upset me, but it really doesn't. Like, I wouldn't put coaches on and introduce them to people if I didn't want them to pick some clients up. Does that make sense? I'm friends with these people and like some of these people because they're good coaches. And the thing is, no one coach is right for every person. I'm not the best coach for everybody out there, and I will freely admit that. See how that works? Yeah, I watched, but so just in case anyone was wondering about that, Vagintas, even though you are a little trolly so far, I hope you're being serious, and I hope you actually do hire Jamie. All right. All right. Darko, I'm not going to outline a full PCT protocol. If for whatever reason you do that, go with Dr. Michael Scallions Power PCT. I'm not going to break it down. Go look it up. Michael Scally, Dr. Scally Power PCT. Go look it up. He's an MD who prescribed that to lifters. Future, I'm more or less recomping at this point. I'm staying pretty much in the same weight range. I mean, there's going to be daily and weekly fluctuations a little, but I'm trying really not to gain any weight. Let's check out Vagintas. I'm gonna see how trolly your channel is. Let's figure it out. Let's see who you are. Oh, it's not letting me investigate you. Why is it not letting me investigate you? Oh, you might just be a troll. Well, that's a weird one. I feel like you borderline trolley already. Actually, you know what? That's a weird thing. You know, why should we sit like that and say, I think someone is something? You just trust your gut instinct. Always trust your gut. Kapow! Always trust your instincts, people. Don't second guess yourself. All right. See, when you second guess your gut instincts, that's when you get fucked in life. Yeah. You have to search YouTube. Well, no, usually a lot of times it lets me look at their profile. It lets me look at their profile. Can using finasteride impact gains? Yeah, it can actually, potentially. That's a whole complicated topic, isn't it? That's really, I guess, between maybe you and your doctor to discuss on that one. Tips: how do you recover from minor tears in your erectors? Rest and blood flow. Is recomping possible if your body fat is a little higher than 15%? It's easier. No, exquisite. I just don't really care enough about the hair. No. All right. Coach, why do you guys ask stuff like that? Okay. So, Jason, I love your attitude today. You're taking no shit. Respect. Thank you, Darko. Appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. We got 42 minutes. 42 minutes. Oh, we're not getting many comments. Oh, God. Wow. Just get rid of him. Just get rid of him. He has a people's eyebrow. I got to learn to do, when I hit the drops the band hammer, we got to do the people's eyebrow. Got to make it sexy as fuck. Special 1 hour live stream. I don't know if I want to do this for an hour today. That is my left eyebrow. Look, my right hand. Maybe it looks reversed on the screen. I don't know. Your left. I don't know. I don't know if I can. Let me hold this one down. No, I can't do the right one. It just doesn't work. I tried, man. Oh, well. All right. I think I'm going to go ahead and wind this one down, though. So I hope it's been informative. I love all of you guys and gals. And I will talk to you next time.